What's up, DC 828? This is Rashina.
It's
Listen, we are back at it. We got some news for you. Listen, Ripple might be on the brink of becoming a bank, and you heard me right, but a federally chartered bank. So there's a tweet that's on X that has over 100 some thousand views that says the decision is expected in October. But we want to let you know, is that real or is it just hype? And we're going to pull receipts straight from the OCC. That's the U.S. regulator that grants banks its charters and walk you through exactly how this works, what's real, what's rumor, and why this moment is a lot bigger than most people think. So we're your favorite crypto couple, the DC8. Let's get into it with truth, clarity, and legacy. Let's get it. So what did the tweet say, Sean?
it
You
said that
sent it to me?
uh, it said it said that the bank will be approving Ripple for October the 31st, 2025.
Okay. All right. So that's the tweet that's on X. So let's
Mm-hmm.
talk about first what the OCC is, just for people who may not know. That's the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency. And it's a bureau in the U.S. Department of Treasury that was created by Congress in 1863. Think of it like a federal agency that charters, regulates, and supervises national banks of the United States. And so it has three big jobs. It charters banks, it charters national banks and federal savings agency. So if a company wants to become a national bank, it has to apply to the OCC, and then it regulates and supervises banks. So the OCC sets the rules that national banks must follow, and it conducts exams to make sure banks are operating safely, managing risks, and following the law. And then it also ensures banks operate safely and serve the public. So its mission is to make sure the banking system is safe, sound, and fair. So when Ripple filed their application, they judging XRP as a coin, they're judging whether Ripple itself can responsibly operate as a federal regulated bank. So now we're going to get into what's fact and what's hype and what's rumor, right? So we know Ripple applied for their bank charter, right? Their National Trust Bank charter, right? On July 2nd, 2025, right?
Yes, well, it was actually signed on June the 30th, 2025.
Right. It
But
might have been signed, but it was filed with them with the OCC on July 2nd.
yeah, that's correct.
All right. And that's publicly available on the OCC official website. And the filing is for a trust bank, not a regular deposit taking bank. So that means that Ripple would focus on custody, fiduciary services, and stablecoin reserves, not things like a checking account. All right.
Unfortunately, I want to say this, but unfortunately, it's not for retail. It's only for banks. So we can't
Right.
go there and try to open up an account and all that stuff. But it's only for banks, not for us.
Okay. All right. All right, which makes sense. And the regarding the tweet though, it matches with the official OCC PDF. What's his name? Stuart Alderworthy. Is that his
Yeah,
name?
to the
Alderworthy's
outside.
name. Yeah, and they are identical. So the document looks okay. And the OCC does have a 120-day decision goal date. So according to the OCC's licensing manual, they seek to decide on complete applications within 120 days of receipt or as soon as possible thereafter. That's the language straight from their rule book. And Ripple filed on July 2nd, 120 days, lands in late October. So October does line up with the OCC stated window if everything goes smoothly.
My opinion, I think they're doing a fast track on this. And to me, it lines up with the ISO 222 coming out next month, November the 22nd. Because if Ripple become a bank, then they can start using their escrow as utility for the whole 11,000 banks that's signed up already under ISO 222. That's just my opinion.
Okay. All right. Well, they have, now just to go back to the deadline real quick. The deadline, I just want to make sure people know the deadline is not a legal deadline. So the OCC does say 120 days or as soon as possible thereafter. So it does give them some flexibility in there. And there's no law forcing a decision by October. So I know that everybody's all hyped up and wanting to see this happen and be approved, but we want to make sure that we give you the facts. And yes, it's great that they've applied for it. We are just as hyped and excited as everyone else, but again, we want to give you not the hype, but the information as it stands. And so just in some historical examples of how long this process takes for some others that have applied, let's see, in the fintech space for charter bank applications, there's a company like Figure. They withdrew their application because of the complexity of the timelines. So they didn't even complete their process. And so there has also been legal analysis that's been done from Jones Day, Federal Banking, and others that consistently know that fintech charter reviews can take 9 to 12 months or more. So now, again, I'm not saying that it's not going to not be approved or it's not going to be completely done in the month of October. I'm just giving you the information so that you have all of the facts or all the information that we found. So Ripple's application is currently in the 120-day bracket. They're getting close to that timeline now. That's where the application is standing.
Right.
Go ahead, Sean. You got something?
Now I'm just saying, I was just saying right what you just said. I guess the 120 days, it varies between the 28th and the 31st of October. And
All right.
remember what we said last month on our last video. Hey, the ETF go out live as well this month too. So if the bank get a approval and the ISO go live next month and 22nd, and then we have the Clarity Act pass. Oh my God. Watch out. Watch out. Watch out. That's all I can say. Watch out. It's gonna be unreal.
So since you were talking about this timeline, let me just go through this timeline real quick of the process. So the application was done on July 2nd. That's step one,
Right.
to submit the application. Then on step two, a 30-day public comment is made by the OCC. So the OCC, within a 30-day time frame after the application is submitted, posts a notice to allow the public to comment. Banking trade groups can weigh in, and people that may have opposed this could weigh in. And then in step three, the OCC review period, which is the 120-day review period, that's again the stage that they're in. Decisions typically they aim to, like I said, meet that deadline, but they have flexibility there. And then step four is the decision. They get to approve, deny, or request more information. So if the OCC decides the package is ready, they can issue a conditional approval, they can issue a denial or request for the information or just approve. And the 120-day mark is when they aim to decide if things are smooth. But again, they can go beyond that. Then step five, they have a pre-opening conditions. So even if they approve, Ripple would have to meet a list of conditions regarding capital, governance, client systems before opening. So it's like the pre-opening conditions is like getting pre-approved for a mortgage. You still got to close.
I like that. That's a nice way to put it. I like that.
Mhm. So step six is once approved and ready, they can operate under the OCC supervision with oversight, with probably heightened oversight in the early years of their opening. So that's the 6-step process that they need to follow regarding to be approved and get to the final end game of becoming a national trust chartered bank.
That's amazing.
All right. It is. It's amazing. It's a process too, though. It's quite a process.
I imagine some other platform like Coinbase and Kraken, they're probably gonna try to do the same thing if and when Ripple get approved. They just a couple of days ago applied for the Bill Bank. Literally 2 days ago. Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. All right. So I also want to tell you this. I also want to make sure, like my husband said, he talked about this a minute ago about the difference between like a retail bank, and this process that Ripple is applying for, like a traditional bank. So like a traditional bank, in comparison to what Ripple is doing, a traditional bank allows you to make like deposits. So you are lending your money to the bank when you make a deposit to the bank. So you are actually the lender and the bank is the borrower of your money. And they issue you an IOU, basically. So you have a claim to your money for that exact amount. So the bank just uses your money and promises to pay you back, right? That's what the bank does. And so when a trust company, what they do is they become custody. They have custody over the assets that are placed within their systems. So, but the person that places the asset there still retains the ownership of the asset, and the trust company doesn't own the asset. It just merely holds and safeguards them for your benefit. So they must act as your best interest and they must segregate your assets from their own assets, and they cannot lend out your assets for their own profit. So that's different from a bank. The bank can lend out what you give them for their profit. And you, like I said, you keep your full ownership of it. Let's see. They hold it in a legally separate account. So if the trust company should fail, your assets should not be part of the bankruptcy estate. So that is the difference between like the traditional everyday bank and like a trust, a national trust bank, what Ripple is applying to be. So you may say, okay, well, what's the point? Like, why is Ripple even doing this? How are they benefiting from this? So becoming a fiduciary trust company gives Ripple regulatory power. So, and institutional access and new revenue streams, along with strategic positioning as the financial infrastructure changes. So they're not just going to be a payments player. It's the difference between being a participant and being part of the system's foundation. So they are becoming a part of the new financial structure foundation, not just a participant in it. As we've been saying all along, that the company is very strategic about their direction and about the part that they play in integrating themselves into the financial infrastructure, the digital financial infrastructure.
I'm gonna say this. Now it makes sense why Ripple is actually trying to get banking license in all these states.
Mhm.
I think they have over 55 banking license, not only in the United States but overseas. So they have banking license. That was a gear in them too, trying to become a bank. So once they become a bank, they can actually do work within those 55 banks that is already underneath them. That's
Right.
smart.
Like they have been playing smart the entire time for me. Even like I said, even with all the obstacles that presented itself towards them, all the legal hurdles they had to get over, they never stopped building and never stopped moving forward. It may have looked like that they were being stopped and blocked, but they were planning and expecting to win. So, that's the
Right.
whole message I'm getting out of that. The whole message I'm getting out of that. They were planning and expecting to win, no matter the obstacles that were placed before them. And so, with you, when we're talking to you about this stuff, plan and expect to win, no matter what your current situation is, what your current obstacle you may feel like you have, if you feel like you don't know that much about the crypto space, or if you feel like you have limited resources or whatever it is, still play to win. Still play to win because you were created for that very reason, to win. So there's no obstacle, there is no block, there is nothing that hinders you more than you. So get your mindset right. See yourself as winning, see yourself as succeeding in the space if you're wanting to get in crypto, and don't lead with fear. Lead with faith. Lead with faith. Listen, so that's what we want to share with you this evening about this hype that we see about Ripple becoming a bank, and we are just as hype about it happening, but we are not going to give you um, this hyped
And
up news about it. We're going to let you know the facts of what we found, and what we always say, go do your own research. The OCC is a place that you can search yourself. But listen, we gave you what we found. And if you know something we don't know, drop it in the comments.
remember
With
now,
an X. Okay.
share, and share. What else? I'm sorry, I don't
And
forget
comment. Like,
already.
share, and comment. Like, share, and comment. And then what do you want to do? Put the X, right? If you watch to
But
the
the
end.
day,
Yes. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate you. And check out our DC 828 Patreon account. check out our DC828 merch. Our store, our platform is growing. We're going to start going live as well. So we haven't mapped that out yet, but we want to start going live with you guys and getting your feedback real time and getting your chats real time. We also have memberships available now on the YouTube page where you're able to become a member on our YouTube page directly, and you'll get early access to our videos before everyone else does if you're a member of that. And there are other perks for that too, not just early access, but there are perks of like discount on merch at certain levels. So check out the membership there. Check out our store on the YouTube page. And we appreciate you guys as always. We thank you so much for your awesome comments, your awesome feedback. And our next video will be on Hedera, because I know that the person that put the comment out there asked about that. So Sean, I'm talking to my co-host now, Sean. Our next video got to be on Hedera. I know we have but we have talked about that coin before. So if you search
Yeah.
our videos, we've talked about that coin before, but we'll do it again. And if you are a part of our Patreon, we already have a comprehensive book about that coin, so that we have given to our Patreon community. So our Patreon community has a ebook that we created for them on that coin. Become part of our Patreon group and you'll have this information. But we're going to do it for you again. All right. And until our next video, like, share, subscribe. And we appreciate you guys as always. And this is Rashina. I'm out. Until our next video, we'll holla.
Peace.
Mhm.